These are things I thought were cheap as a kid and was shocked to find out they're incredibly expensive. Christmas edition. We have Christmas ornaments. No wonder my mother welcomed the giant construction paper mitten that I made in preschool and put it right on the tree because, oh my god, are these expensive and there's a lot of space to fill. Also, they're so fragile. Like, why don't we just put these little glass balls that we spend a ton of money on tiny synthetic branches and see what happens? You need to put caution tape around a Christmas tree. We have Christmas trees. Synthetic or real, it doesn't matter. These are wildly expensive. The cheapest you can go is like $50 from Walmart, and that's like 2 feet tall with chunks missing. I didn't realize I needed to drain my bank account for a little bit of holiday cheer. Like, sorry grandma, we can't pay for your surgery, but look at the tree and the lights are remote control. And finally, we have Christmas gifts. Now, I love getting things for people that I care about. The problem is the peripheral people. Like, if you go to a family Christmas party and you have to get Aunt Cheryl something who you haven't seen since your first communion and all she does is drink Mountain Dew and watch Wheel of Fortune all day, what am I supposed to get her? These are things you'll only know if you grew up with mid-2000s YouTube. Part 8. If as soon as you see this orange, you hear, "Hey Apple! Apple! Orange, you glad I didn't say apple again? Hey Apple, can you do this?" Well, if you know, you know. This is what I think would happen to the characters in Hannah Montana if they were real people. After going to college and having a falling out with Oliver and becoming more distant from a very famous Miley, Lily would realize that she didn't really know who she was because she was too busy helping everyone else with their problems, go through a slew of different majors, eventually drop out and feel very lost until she saw a flyer for the LA Roller Derby Girls, which she would join, quickly rise through the ranks, fall in love with a girl named Daisy, and they'd open a lesbian bar together called the Garden of Eden. They would begin a plot to franchise the surf shop and put it all along the West Coast. Just about this time, the IRS would catch up to him and realize that he hadn't paid taxes on his revenue for the past 5 years. Just as they were about to arrest him, Jackson would step in, newly with a law degree, and show a loophole where you don't have to pay taxes for 5 years if you have a best friend because it's Disney. And then he would save the day. Rico would make him part owner in the company and they'd have a very lucrative business together. The world knowing her secret, no longer being grounded by her double life, Miley would get a big head and go on a celebrity rampage with moments like throwing up in Kim Kardashian's closet. At a low point, celebrity beef with Perez Hilton. Miley would reach out to Lily and ask her to help her find herself again, which Lily would. Miley would go on to have 3 successful country rock and pop albums and have a show called the Hannah Montana Bonanza. These are things everybody said on their elementary school playground and I have no idea where they came from. Part 8. Hey, what word starts with D and ends with ick? Drumstick, what were you thinking? Lemonade, crunchy ice. Say it once, say it twice. Hey, what's your name? Scott? What color is the sky? Blue? What's the opposite of down? Up? Oh my god, you guys, Scott blew up! Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Girls go to college to get more knowledge. This is what I think different celebrities would be like as roommates. Part 3. Lana Del Rey disappears for long periods of time, and the first time you filed a missing persons report, but then she showed up 2 weeks later on the back of a strange man's motorcycle, so now you figure she's just like a cat and she'll find her way home eventually. She also hasn't paid rent in 3 months, but when she is around, she's really cool to hang out with. Brianna's a really rich physicist that owns a condo in a high-rise building in New York, and she doesn't need a roommate, but she likes the company, and she's totally undercharging you. But she doesn't realize how cool she is. She'll be like, I have an extra ticket to Fashion Week. I know it's kind of lame, but do you want to come? But once a month her parents come and they're a nightmare. Ariana Grande is really sweet and you guys are best friends, but she's always recording music in a room at really odd times. You'll be like reading a book on the couch at 9:30 and you'll sneeze and she'll pop out of her room and go, I'm so sorry, but I'm actually recording music in my room. Could you not make a sound for the next maybe 4 hours? Okay, thank you so much. I love you, Eiley. This is who you are based on your elementary school supplies. If this is your notebook, you spent your time at recess drawing pictures for your teacher to hang up on the classroom wall. You want to be an artist, but you'll go to school for psychology. You'll get married at the age of about 25, and now you have an Etsy shop. If you have to borrow a pencil from your teacher to take a test, you're probably not that interested in school and you just go because your parents make you. You do enjoy recess though, and you'll probably end up being like a truck driver or go to trade school and be an electrician, but honestly those are pretty well paying jobs. Being school smart's not the only way to be smart. If this is your backpack, you've had this backpack for the last 3 years. You're the youngest of 3 siblings. You play on the school's basketball team and you will major in business and get a job at the local logistics company. If this is your pencil case. You're in all honors classes. Your parents want you to be a doctor or lawyer or both. You have asked for more homework on more than one occasion and you always over stress about the test and then end up getting 100%. These are things everybody said on their elementary school playground and I have no idea where they came from. Part 9. Hey, are you smart? Yeah. Okay, then spell it. S-M-A-R-T? No, it's spelled I-T. Looks like you're not very smart. Lemonade, iced tea, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. What you doing eating chocolate? Where'd you get it? Donkey dropped it. Where'd he drop it? In the sewer. What do you call it? Horse manure. Don't make me sit my fingers in a Z formation. Hip rotation. You just got dissed. These are things I thought were cheap as a kid and was shocked to find out they're incredibly expensive. Part 9. So we have shipping. I thought this was like $1 or $2 when I was a kid. No. Why is my Scooby-Doo Chia Pet costing $10 to get here? Is it taking a first class ticket, having a hot towel and an oil massage on the way here? And if you want to ship anything internationally, oh my god, you might as well just have a vacation and deliver it yourself. Except we have an ambulance ride. Now, I was under the impression that this was free, but Apparently not. Honestly, if I'm in such bad shape that I can't take an Uber there, just leave me. I don't want to deal with it. Also, EMTs are like the least paid in the medical field, so who's making all the money off of this? We have makeup. Now, I was under the impression that this was like $2 a tube, like Halloween face paint. No, I went to Target to get foundation for these videos, and honestly, I felt like I needed a degree to figure out what was going on. I'm not trying to paint Kim Kardashian here. I'm going for Walmart Billy Eichner. Why do I feel so overwhelmed? Yes, question. You're about to throw up and you need to go to the bathroom? Can it wait? We're about to finish factoring polynomials. This is really important stuff. Questions. Yes, Caroline. Oh, Caroline, you don't have to ask me to use the bathroom. Who am I to gatekeep what your body needs? Go out there, do some yoga, call your mom, whatever you need. I put all my slides on Blackboard. Yes, for homework tonight, I'm gonna need a 10-page paper on how capitalism ruined the Olympic Games. It's only worth 2% of your grade, but if you don't turn it in, you will fail. Your homework for this week, just go to the animal shelter and play with the dogs for an hour or two. They love that so much. There will be no notes on the test Friday. You never know when you'll be out in the wild, in danger, and you're gonna need long division on the fly. It's not like you're just gonna have a calculator in your pocket all the time. Yes, the test Friday is gonna be open note, open book, because life is open note, open book. These are things everybody said on their elementary school playground, and I have no idea where they came from. Part 10. Hey, look there. Where? Under there. Underwear. You just said underwear. Ugh. Concentration, 64. No repeats or hesitations. Yeah, I'm flipping you off right now, because in China, the pinky finger is the middle finger. Inky binky bonky, daddy had a donkey. Donkey died, daddy cried, inky binky bonky. This is who you are based on your elementary school supplies. Part 2. Your pencil eraser looks like this. You have an undiagnosed anxiety disorder. You're the oldest of 3 siblings, and both your parents work, so you kind of had to be a parent at a young age. You went to school for nutrition, and you got your degree, but you've never used it. You have a superhero backpack. You're always more interested in art, but your parents made you play sports. You cry really easily, but you've learned how to hide it. Your favorite subject's reading and literature, and you'd rather take a bath in acid than do a math problem. And you went to school for marketing because it seemed like the most fun degree that would appease your parents. Multicolored sticky notes. You say you want to be a marine biologist. You made your parents take you to school when you were sick because you were not going to give up your perfect attendance. And if you get anything less than an A+, you'll be very disappointed in yourself. You have pencil grippers. You're an only child. Your parents are a little bit overbearing. Everything you brought home from school went on the refrigerator. In your first week of college, you got a tattoo and a piercing, and your parents were not happy about it. This is what I think different celebrities would be like as roommates. Part 4. Nicki Minaj would be running $1 million makeup brand from her bedroom. She'd get you 3 months free rent because of a loophole in your contract because the refrigerator wasn't working for like a day, and one day she saw you crying on the couch. She wouldn't question it, grab the carton of eggs, and egg your ex-boyfriend's house because nobody messes with her roommate. Miley Cyrus would burst in your room at 2 a.m. and convince you to dye your hair with purple Kool-Aid. She'd help you sneak backstage to a One Direction concert, and then you'd get matching tattoos to mark the occasion. RuPaul would move all of your stuff out of the shared closet to make room for her wigs. You'd constantly be putting performances on for each other in the living room in way too high of heels and kind of annoying the neighbors, and one day you'd be really bummed because you found out you had a hemorrhoid, and she'd tell you to name it your inner saboteur. These are things everybody said on their elementary school playground, and I have no idea where they came from. Part 11. Talk to the hand because the face ain't home. Leave a message at the tone. Beep. Hey, are you cool or a jerk? I'm cool, I guess? You're a constipated, overweighted, out-of-style loser. That's what cool stands for. Skunk in the barnyard. P.U. Somebody farted. It's you. Oh, Taylor, you're it. Jinx. Oh, the Jinx machine is out of order. Please insert another quarter. These are things they fed us for school lunch that we should not have been eating. So we have these magical little milk cartons at 11 a.m. with pizza. How are we not little fart boxes as soon as we got to the classroom? If I tried to eat this now, I couldn't be 10 feet away from a toilet at all times. We were really drinking this milk goo, thinking it was like the Fountain of Youth serum with Michael Phelps and a little milk mustache saying got milk in the cafeteria wall. This was a little crazy. Except we have Bosco sticks, which were little breadsticks filled with like a very, very plasticky, stringy cheese. Like it got mixed up in the Mattel factory. Also, these breadsticks always looked like they needed a Florida vacation. They were always so pale. And finally, it's not delivery, it's not DiGiorno, it may not even be classified as pizza, it's the famous rectangle pizza. These little button pepperonis look like they may have got lost on the way to a Joann fabric store, and the pizza was probably frozen longer than the Ice Age, but we loved it, and they were really charging us $4.99 a day for this. These are things I thought were cheap as a kid, and was shocked to find out they're incredibly expensive. Part 10. So we have mirrors. Now, these were literally ever as a kid, so I thought, I don't know, how much could they be? It's a piece of reflective glass, like $20? No. These are like $80, bonus points extremely heavy. I think next time I want to look at my reflection, I'm just going to look into a puddle. So we have bank accounts. Now they're free to open, but they love a good fee. It's a $15 a month fee if I don't have at least $500 in my savings account. Why are you charging me for not having money? I don't have money. Who knew being poor was so expensive? Finally, we have gasoline. Now, when I was a kid, I thought the price per gallon was the price to fill up your whole tank. I was like, why is everyone complaining so much? It's only $2.50. Times that by 12 and then make it a weekly cost. I know it's going to take me 2 hours to get there, but I think I'll just walk. It's who you are based on your elementary school supplies. Part 3. The 64 pack of crayons you always brought it to class, especially when it wasn't necessary. Your parents are divorced and they're always trying to one-up each other. You spend your time at recess drawing portraits for people, and you want to go to school to study criminal justice. You had Disney character backpacks, you were heavily involved in dance or gymnastics, and it kind of became a personality trait. Your mom was heavily involved in the parent-teacher association, and you always got your teacher Starbucks gift cards for the holidays. Mechanical pencils, you were really good at math and science, and you hated spelling. You wanted to be a video game designer when you grew up, but your parents said that's unrealistic and wanted you to be an engineer. You also had slight ADHD, and your parents made a way bigger deal about it than it needed to be. You had a Space Maker pencil box, you were the middle child and felt forgotten about a lot. You only went to school for lunch and recess. You play an instrument, and you want to be a rock star, and you're going to move out of your small town the second you get the chance. These are things everybody said on their elementary school playground, and I have no idea where they came from. Part 12. Brick wall waterfall. Boy, he thinks he got it all, but he don't, and I do. So boom with that attitude. Peace punch, Captain Crunch. I got something you can't touch. Oh my god, I think you dropped your pocket. Wait, I dropped what? You can't drop a pocket. Tic-tac-toe. Give me an X, give me an O. Tic-tac-toe. Give me a 3 in a row. Hey, can you do this exactly like I do it? Johnny, 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 whoop, Johnny, whoop, Johnny, 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 Johnny. Johnny, 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 whoop, Johnny, whoop, Johnny, 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 Johnny. Nope, you didn't cross your arms at the end. It's not the same. These are things they fed us for school lunch that we should not have been eating. Part 2. So we have strawberry milk. Now, for whatever reason, a couple of these would pop up on a random Monday, and the first kids in line in the lunchroom would grab them and hold them around like it was a Louis Vuitton bag in the lunchroom. Also, there was always some ice chunks in these, like they had just found them in the back of the freezer. And if you weren't the kind of person that checked the expiration date, I might have some bad news for you. Except we have taco in a bag. Now, ours was not this nice. It was just meat, cheese, and Fritos. And this day would pop up randomly, but we all got so excited when it happened. But because it wasn't on schedule, I'm a little afraid that like some raccoons were found in the schoolyard and they were like, guess it's taco in a bag day tomorrow. I know I'm gonna get hate for this, but I have to say it. What was this? No matter how long you microwaved it for, there were always frozen chunks in the middle. And what was the jam? Like, it was always so runny. It was not some vineyard jam. I think it was petroleum jelly at best. Ryan, wake up! I don't care if y'all are balancing an immense amount of extracurricular activities so you can seem well-balanced at colleges, all while maintaining a good GPA and getting enough sleep to nourish a growing body. We're talking about sedimentary rock today. I need you to keep up. Oh, we got a napper. The parties get a little too crazy this weekend. I remember those days. Hey, it's Monday, guys. We're only human, right? No worry. Taylor, your paper was probably the best I've ever seen in my 15 years of teaching. However, you did use the wrong form of there in the second paragraph. In college, they would probably fail you for that, but I settled for giving you an 85. Taylor, I have to say, the fact that you wrote your essay on a paper towel was so inventive. That kind of creative thinking is going to go really far in the business world. A+. And then the European colonizers said to the native people, do you mind doing a little scoochy poochie over a couple miles so we can use this beautiful land? You guys are the best. So this semester, we're going to use a Marxist lens to look at how the United States made vast technological growth that shaped the world, but at the expense of the exploitation of the working class. These are things that look delicious, but shockingly aren't edible. First up, we have bath bombs. Now, obviously, this is made to look like a cupcake, and I literally think that's whipped cream on top. Like, what's the point of this? I go to a Lush, I leave hungry and a little bit broke. I'm not happy. How disappointing for someone to be like, look what I got you for your birthday. You're like, oh my god, a cupcake. I'm so hungry. Thank you. They're like, no, this is a powder to soak your flesh in. So we have geodes. Now, when I look at this picture, I'm immediately thirsty for a grape soda. Whoever made rock candy really came in to save the day because I want to eat this rock so badly. We have insulation. Now, every time I went up to the attic as a kid, I literally thought I just stepped into the circus and we stuffed the walls with cotton candy. Why does this look so delicious and why did they make it pink? Every time I went up to the attic, my parents had to tell me 10 times, don't touch the walls. It's not cotton candy. Please do not eat this. These are things I thought were expensive as a kid and was shocked to find out they're pretty cheap. Part 3. So we have trading cards, and that feeling you get when you open one of these and you find a holographic card that all your friends want, that rush is like undescribable. So my parents like portioned that accordingly so I didn't get a gambling addiction. But I just assumed then that these were like $10. They're maybe like $2.99, which is a lot for paper, but you know. So we had bed frames. Now it was a big spectacle and my brother and I got new bed frames, so I just assumed they were extremely expensive. I was like, yeah, I'm Princess on the P. I'm so sensitive. I need a fancy bed frame. Turns out these are like less than $100. Also, the sheer amount of 28-year-old men that still sleep with their mattress on the floor, you just think these are expensive, but they're not. And we have Kool-Aid Burst, which was like liquid gold when you were a kid. It was the most tasty, absolutely delicious juice you could ever have. Probably we only had these on special occasions because it was loaded with sugar, but this 6-pack is only $1, and when I found that out, I felt extremely cheated. These are things everybody said on their elementary school playground, and I have no idea where they came from. Part 13. Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black, black, with silver buttons, buttons all down her back. Hey, what's that? What? Made you look, now you're in the baby book. What's that? A hat? Crazy, funky, junky hat. Overslept, hair unsightly, trying to look like Keira Knightley. We've been there, we done that, we see right through your funky hat. Hey, do you think I'm cool or a jerk? I think you're cool. No, I'm a jerk. I'm a junior educated rich kid. These are things they fed us for school lunch that we should not have been eating. Part 3. First we have these juice cups, which seems like the least efficient way to serve juice to third graders, but okay, so it always give you a tiny coffee straw that couldn't slurp up all the ice chunks in this like it was left over from the moon landing, and 100%